Significant events of World War I and World War II in Europe. If you're curious about the major events that shaped World War I and World War II in Europe, you're in the right place. Let's take a journey through time to understand these pivotal moments. World War I. It all began on June 28, 1914, when Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife Sophie were assassinated in Sarajevo by a Bosnian Serb nationalist. This event triggered a chain reaction that led to the outbreak of World War I. By July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary had declared war on Serbia, and soon other European powers were drawn into the conflict. One of the early significant battles was the First Battle of the Marne, which started on September 6, 1914. Here, the Germans advanced close to Paris, but were halted by the British and French forces. This marked the beginning of trench warfare, a brutal and static form of combat that characterized much of the war. In April 1915, the Second Battle of Ypres began, where the Germans introduced chlorine gas as a weapon, killing thousands of French and Algerian troops. This was a grim introduction to the horrors of chemical warfare. By November 1914, Britain and France had declared war on the Ottoman Empire, expanding the conflict into the Middle East. The war saw numerous battles across various fronts, including the Battle of the Frontiers, the Battle of Tannenberg, and the Battle of Gallipoli. The war finally came to an end on November 11, 1918, with the signing of the Armistice of Compiègne. The Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919, imposing harsh penalties on Germany and setting the stage for the rise of Nazi Germany. World War II. Fast forward to the 1930s, and Europe was once again on the brink of war. On August 23, 1939, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union signed a non-aggression pact, secretly agreeing to divide Eastern Europe between them. Just a week later, on September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, prompting Britain and France to declare war on Germany. Germany's Blitzkrieg tactics quickly overwhelmed Poland, and by September 17, 1939, the Soviet Union had also invaded Poland from the east. Warsaw fell on September 27, and Poland was divided between Germany and the Soviet Union. In May 1940, Germany launched a massive attack on Western Europe, invading Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. France fell by June 22, 1940, with Germany occupying the northern half of the country and establishing a collaborationist regime in Vichy, France. Italy entered the war on June 10, 1940, and the conflict spread to North Africa and the Mediterranean. The Battle of Britain in the summer of 1940 saw the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe, attempt to gain air superiority over Britain, but ultimately fail. In June 1941, Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, a massive invasion of the Soviet Union, which led to some of the bloodiest battles of the war. The tide of the war began to turn against Germany with the Soviet victory at Stalingrad in February 1943 and the Allied invasion of Normandy on D-Day, June 6, 1944. The final push into Germany began in late 1944, with Allied forces advancing from both the east and the west. Berlin fell on May 2, 1945, and Germany surrendered on May 8, 1945, marking the end of World War II in Europe. These events, from the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand to the surrender of Germany, shaped the course of two devastating wars that left Europe and the world forever changed.